Hello, AP Worlders. Welcome to Post Classical China. Post Classical China was a massive, powerful civilization. They were widely imitated by all the near civilizations. China extended its borders into Central Asia, and they attracted visitors from all over Eurasia. Throughout this time, China had to deal with the threat of the northern nomads, which is why they built this Great Wall. Buddhism, a religion of India origin, began to take roots in China, and even Christianity and Islam made it to China. Han Dynasty collapsed around 220 CE, and then there were more than 3 centuries of China being separated. During this time of disunity, led or this disunity led to the decreasing of Confucianism and the greater acceptance of Buddhism and Taoism. Unlike the Roman Empire, who was never able to reestablish itself into a unified state, China did under the Sui dynasty in 598. They brought more unity to the region by expanding the country's canal, known as the Grand Canal, which is this canal. The canals linked the region and enabled the prosperity to occur. In order to build these public works, the Sui dynasty had to be ruthless, and this ruthlessness led to their dynasty being overthrown. The two dynasties that would follow the Sui and the two dynasties that would follow the Sui, the Tang and the Song, were known as the Golden Age of China. It was the Golden Age because of the advancements in art and literature. They said they excelled in poetry, landscape painting, and ceramics. There was also a rise of Neo Confucianism during those dynasties, which was an effort to revive Confucian thinking while incorporating some aspects of Buddhism and Taoism. Politically, the Tang and Song dynasties built a state structure that endured for 1,000 years. They created a bureaucracy that had a group called the Censorate, which was an agency to keep surveillance over the rest of the government, checking their character and competence. China also made their examination system more elaborate. They also increased efforts to prevent cheating. But still, a large amount of official positions went to the sons of the privileged, even if they did not pass the exam. China also had an economic revolution during this time, which made them the richest, most skilled, and most populous country on earth. China's population would double during this time, up to about 120 million people. One main reason for the growth in population was the advancements in agriculture. A new drought resistant strain of rice that they received from Vietnam helped grow this population. China was also the most urbanized place in the world at the time, as well, which helped to spark their growth. Marco Polo described the capital of China, Hangzhou, as being dispute the finest and noblest city in the world. China also had great industrial growth, fueled by their coal. This coal would lead to a considerable amount of air pollution, though. The invention in printing also occurred with the wood block and movable type. This was used to create the first printed books. Their navigation and shipbuilding technologies led the world. The golden age of China was less than golden for many women. During the Tang dynasty, women had more rights, but the Song dynasty came in and reversed that. Oh, sorry, I forgot to be showing you the pictures, but here, the Tang and Song dynasties. All right, make sure you look at some of those, the similarities and differences of the Tang and Song. All right, and then also here are a bunch of the inventions that came about. See porcelain, mechanical clock, the movable type printing that we discussed. All right, gunpowder. But notice it was used for fireworks at first, then weapons. Paper money. and then the magnetic compass. All right. So paper money would make trade easier and more efficient, and the magnetic compass would help make travel better. All right. Here's an example of a Buddhist temple in China showing the spread of Buddhism from India. All right, and then here is also a picture of the new rice that helped the agriculture grow that they received from Vietnam. All right, and then here's the part about the women. All right, that's the foot binding that the women had to endure. All right, the Song Dynasty, vivid Confucian patriarchal restrictions on women. The Song man came to be defined now as one who pursued calligraphy, scholarship, painting, and poetry, almost like a Renaissance man that you'll see later on in Europe. The biggest sign of patriarchy lay in this foot binding that you see here in the pictures. This was the tight wrapping of young girls' feet, usually breaking their bones. All right, so you see how her toes are wrapped basically around, so her foot's about half the size of a normal woman's foot. All right, so here's a normal woman in shoes. All right, and then you can see the how small these shoes are for the women who had their foot binded. And that foot binding would cause intense pain. But in China, this foot binding became associated with beauty. Women did have some positives, though, under the song. They did get more property rights and they got more education. All right. But this foot binding was like the biggest sign of patriarchal society because it would limit how much women could move and travel. All right. So that's everything for post classical China. And I will see you guys in class. Just to look back through some of the slides again, some of the pictures, right? You got the agriculture, all right, the Buddhist temple, and the inventions of the dynasties. There's a look at the canal. All right, and then you see they prospered due to trade, improved agriculture, great art and literature, and they created an ordered society. All right, but the Tang, they expanded their empire by establishing tributary states. All right, so that was states around them that had to pay like a tax to China. And they also adopted Buddhism. We see a difference here with the Song. They had a smaller empire, but they had a great sea power, mostly because of that compass and that movable type. All right, and then here is just a look at the Tang Dynasty. You see in the red was much larger. The Song Dynasty was here in just the blue. All right, here's the Great Wall trying to stop them nomads from the north. And then here's the canal, which helped trade. All right, so that's it. Here's the Sui Dynasty in green, the one that united China. All right, see you in class.